Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we get a chance to talk with Jamie. Thank you so much for joining us on the channel.
Yes, thank you.
So Jamie, what are you driving in and what are you living in these days?
So I am driving in my converted school bus. It's a 1998 International 7.3 Turbo. It only had 114,000 miles when I bought it, so it's really low mileage, and I've been all over the western US.
Now, has it always been this color or did you change the color scheme?
It's always been this color. So originally when I was traveling, I was in a horse trailer. I didn't expect to full-time travel, but I did fall in love with it. And I went to a Tiny Fest convention, fell in love with school buses, and ended up with this. And so it was fully built out when I purchased it.
Gotcha. And have you made any changes to it since you've been on the road?
I have, yeah. The radiant floor heating had been laid, but it hadn't been hooked up, and so I did get that hooked up. I switched away from a propane heater and went with a hydronic diesel heater.
Well, let's just go right into the tour then, shall we?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to my wood cabin on wheels.
Wow, this is absolutely gorgeous in here. This is not what I expected from the outside.
Yeah, I know. I love it too. That's why it's like my wood cabin. And actually all of the wood throughout the bus is all reclaimed. So like the ceiling is old saunas, and then the very back near the bed is from a barn. So that was one of the features that I really love because I'm all about sustainability. But I couldn't pass on this kitchen.
This is amazing.
Yeah, so I've got some butcher block countertops. I have a really nice deep sink. I have a propane cooktop with an oven, and then of course a full-size fridge and freezer. And one of the things that I've included with the freezer is just these little baskets. It makes it really easy so that everything stays put, and I don't have to worry about things falling down while I'm traveling.
So you must do a lot of cooking, I'm assuming.
I do. And I also have a sourdough starter, so I love baking. Prior to this, I owned a farm. So I'm an empty nester. Both of my daughters are adults. And when my youngest got engaged and was ready to start living her life, that made me start to think about what I wanted to do next. I've always dreamt about tiny living. I didn't necessarily think I was going to be traveling in a tiny home, but it was the best decision that I ever made. The scariest decision, but the best decision.
And how long have you been on the road?
I've been on the road now for 1.5 years.
Okay. And you think so far liking it? Loving
it. I've grown so much as an individual, you know. I think also like being that empty nester, had I stayed on the farm and been in that same environment, it would have been a lot harder for me. But you know, I've got this new adventure. My youngest daughter and her husband are in Alaska. So they have this new adventure going. And so, you know, I think it honestly has brought us all together.
Well, I'm an avid coffee drinker, and I can't help but notice that you have an incredible espresso machine there.
Yeah, so my daughters actually got this for me a couple of years ago when we were on the farm, and you know, I considered whether or not I should bring it along, but I have 1,000 watts of solar. I've got 400 amp hours of lithium battery, and I've got a 3,000 watt inverter. So I knew that the rig could handle it, and I have to agree, like there's nothing better than a good cup of coffee.
And so, I mean, that's a substantial electrical system. What else do you power with it besides the espresso machine?
I've got an air fryer. The fridge and freezer, you know, is probably the biggest draw on the system. There's a lot of things that went into this build. So I've got 200 gallons of fresh water.
Wow.
I have a 100-gallon gray tank. I have a airhead composting toilet, so no black tanks. And then with this fridge and freezer, I mean, I really can go off grid for a long period of time before having to revisit a city and, you know, fill up. So
that's incredible. So you have propane as well?
I do, yeah. The only thing that's propane now on the bus is my stove. So literally I filled it over 1 year ago and I haven't had to fill it again yet. It really is such an affordable life. So different from, you know, having to pay your property taxes and your mortgage, and, you know, you're not really commuting in something like this. And so everybody always thinks, you know, gas or, you know, diesel has to cost so much, but it really doesn't. And so I have found that it's pretty affordable. In fact, I took this last year off of work just so that I could enjoy my travels. One of the things that I love about this build is that the storage is really deep. And so this drawer comes all the way out. And so I've got all of that storage available. It's on AccuRide slide, so it can hold, I think, up to 600 pounds. I've never had any issues with the drawers. They all have the marine latches, so they stay very well latched while I'm driving. My favorite drawer, though, is this one down here because it can fit a whole bottle of wine. And who doesn't love that?
That's perfect. It can stand up in there. That is a huge drawer.
I know. Yeah, so to help keep the fridge and freezer closed, we just installed baby locks, and so that you just squeeze the ends and then it comes on, and then it helps keep that closed. I've never had any issues with it opening while I'm driving. So one of the major selling points for me in this build was that it had a wood stove. When I was traveling in my horse trailer, I was in Colorado and it was negative 12 degrees, and I found out that it can be really cold and I'm really miserable. And so having this wood stove, it doesn't require any energy. It's just fire and wood. And so I know that, like, no matter what's going on, I can always stay warm, and I like the colder climate. So that has been really great. And I actually can keep it burning pretty much all night long because it is a fairly large wood stove. And then, of course, I have my own kombucha. I love to brew. I drink kombucha because it's a replacement for soda for me. It's much healthier with all of those pre and postbiotics. Yeah, so kind of sticking with the theme of being recycled, this was also put in as an art piece, but also as protection from the flu so that we don't have to worry about the wood getting too hot. But yeah, it's all recycled corrugated metal, and you know, there's a nice little mountain design with a sun, and it just makes it kind of fun. We've also got some on this side as well, and then it sits on a granite slab. So this is the bathroom door that I built. The door previously came out, but we've got a second bed here that extends, and so when you had guests, it was kind of difficult to use. So these are actually just drawer slides, and so now it's kind of like a barn sliding door.
Wow.
And then we've got our bathroom. So we've got our shower, which has both stainless steel and tile work within it, as well as all of the water is transported through copper. And that was really, you know, it gives that nice look. We've got a tiny little sink here that is so cute. We've got a window as well as a max air fan. And then I've got my Airhead composting toilet.
You've been pretty happy with that toilet?
Yes, very happy. I know everybody usually, like for composting toilets, talked about the Nature's Head. And so I was a little bit concerned, but as I've gotten to know Airhead, it's actually much easier to use than the Nature's Head. So I have been very happy with it. Yeah, so this is a floating floor. It's made out of teak wood. And so it just allows to keep you above any of the standing water and then allows the water to drain. So back here is my bed. It's a short queen. And it is a non-toxic avocado mattress. So it's been really great. It's just on some slats back here. I've got a bookcase back behind my pillows, and then a TV for, you know, when you want to watch a movie. We've got some great storage back here as well. This is actually the table. So, you know, when you want to have dinner or work for the day, you can just pull this out and you've got a place to sit and work. I've got a dog bed down here for my dog Blue. Come, sit. Good girl. And then we've got different storage. So again, you know, just the same design is just like being extremely deep storage. On this side, I've got my closet. So I've got not only hanging closet, but then also all of this is storage. So to access it, I can just pull out some of the totes and just gives me more things to be able to store away. This is my diesel heater. So I have one fan that comes in. So if I don't want to use the wood stove, I can always heat the cab by that. We've got some additional storage here. I'm a big yogi. I love doing my yoga every day. This is actually my dirty clothes container. And then I've got food and water for the dog that never has to move, and it never spills either when I'm traveling, so that's great. Over here I've got my bench seating. So this actually pulls out into another bed. This mattress can actually extend out so it becomes that full bed. And I've actually taken this mattress up to the deck and slept up there at night as well. And then during the summer, I've got this fan that's set up. It runs off of 12 volt. So I can run that. I actually don't have AC. I did consider putting air conditioning in, but the draw on the solar system was just so great. And I love to be off grid. So I just decided not to do that. And it's been working out okay. The bus is actually double insulated. So it's spray foamed, and then it also has wool insulation as well. So while it keeps the heat in during winter, it also tends to keep it cool during summer. So unless I'm somewhere that's like upper hundreds, I've actually been okay. So some of the things that are unique about this build is that the roof was raised 9 inches and all of the school bus windows were removed. So there are all RV windows. Also the tires, they are logging grade tires, so they're really beefy, really big. Helps when I'm going off grid, doesn't make me feel like I'm gonna get stuck anywhere or in any mud or anything. Then on the top of the bus, we've got the solar panels, and then we have the roof deck. I absolutely love having the roof deck. It was one of the biggest sellers for me. I have a tote up there that I keep my yoga mat in, some pillows, blanket, so that I can get up there and use it, and I do use it almost every day. Since adding the e-bike, I do find that it's easier to just drop the bike a little bit to be able to access the ladder. The roof deck is all welded steel, and it's actually all one unit, so it feels really sturdy going up. So this is the deck. It is an 8x11 platform. I also have some string lights around the deck so that we can create some lighting when we need to. And it's all steel deck, then with wood planks. So I love to come up here to do yoga every day, as well as there's nothing better than coming up for a sunset with a glass of wine.
Jamie, thank you so much for a tour of your beautiful home. I love the fact that it's like a log cabin, like you said in there. It's so pretty.
Thank you so much. It is my home, so I appreciate that.
Now, if we wanted to find out more about your adventures, your build, your travels, everything like that, how can we travel along with you on your adventures?
Yeah, that would be great if you'd like to follow along on my journey. You can find me on YouTube at Dare to Dream Nomad.
Very cool. All right, folks out there, you now know where you can reach her. Check out her YouTube channel and you'll find out all about her adventures. And out there, what did you think of her build? What was your favorite part? Please let us know in the comments below. If you got anything out of today's video, please give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with friends. But until next time, we'll see you down the road. So long.